Yo, what is up, guys? As I promised, I'm gonna be doing my season in review for each position of the Washington football team. This actually involves coaches as well. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna be talking about the coaches first, and then I'm gonna go quarterback, running back, I'm gonna go down pecking order. Each will be separate videos. So. I would like to welcome you all to a bunch of these segments. Let me know what you guys think of each position, what grades you give them. I'm going to be giving my final grades at the end of the video, or at the end of each video, so that way you guys know what I felt about each position or coach and how they did this season. So let's kick it off with the coaches, shall we? And we're going to start off with Ron Rivera, the head coach, and you know, this was a tough year for Ron. When he walked in, he needed to rebuild the culture. Um, he needed to rebuild the culture. He, you know, had to deal with the name change. Of course, he had to deal with cancer throughout the with the season, throughout this, halfway through the season up to the midway point, so on and so forth. No training camp, no mini camp, no the people that he drafted, couldn't have a mini camp, couldn't have a good training camp, didn't have a preseason either. So just a lot on Ron Rivera's plate this year, especially if he did not name a GM. And of course, I'm going to be talking about the GM prospects as well in later videos as season as the off season rolls on. Washington is in process of interviewing many general managers. I just need to do research to see what these managers are all about before I discuss them. So I apologize for not talking about GMs, because I know that GM positions are flying by, and next thing you know it, Washington hires the GM, and I didn't even cover that in any of my videos. But I will do it. I will. I just need to do some research. But let's get back to Ron, the talking about the coaching this year. So Ron Rivera, with all that he had to deal with, I really, at the beginning of the season, was not a fan of this guy. I really wasn't. It really didn't show, him being Riverboat Ron, being conservative with his play calling and stuff like that. It just felt too, it felt like Washington at the beginning of the year was picking up where they left off last year with the coaches. They were playing way too conservative, way too predictable. They were running the foot. It was run for 1 yard, run for 1 yard, pass on third and long, incomplete, punt. It was just it was too redundant, at the beginning of the year. But as time went on, Ron Rivera just, was able to, improve the play calling, found, I think it was more of he needed to get the right quarterback. And Dwayne Haskins, wasn't in it. I'm going to be talking about the quarterbacks in, a separate video. But, he needed to find that right quarterback. And unfortunately, the quarterback room wasn't the best. And like I said, I'm going to be talking about the quarterbacks in a future video. He started off with Dwayne Haskins. Didn't work out there. Kyle Allen, played solid during the Dallas game. But then in the Giants game, he got hurt. Done for the season. With a broken ankle or whatever. Alex Smith, who, the comeback player of the year, in my opinion. Played decent, but didn't play, Washington was 5-1 with him as a starter, but, got hurt towards the end and just played trash at the end of the season. Ron Rivera needs to find in the off season, and I'm going to be talking about free agency as well in later videos. As the off season again is rolling on. He just needs to find a quarterback that can give him the results, because the quarterback room, like I said, played okay. The quarterback play gave him and Washington a 7-9 record. But this is, it's not gonna cut it for this year, but I guarantee it's not gonna cut it for next year. So, Ron Rivera just needs to find a quarterback for the future, and I think Washington would be set. But all in all, Ron Rivera, throughout the season, got better with his play calling, got better with his coaching. So I'm gonna give him. If you would have asked me by week 8, I would have given him a D+, coaching wise. But that was at the midway point. Towards the end, throughout the rest of the season, he bumped up his grade to a C+. Like I said, because of the questionable play calling in certain games, because of, I don't know if he, he was kind of, lying to the media as well regarding Dwayne Haskins and the quarterback play and the running, a lot of things. I didn't like that. I really didn't. So, but as time went on, he finally, was able to get the team disciplined and stuff like that. So I'm going to give him a C+. Now, next up, Scott Turner, the offensive coordinator. And for me, look, the play calling, again, in certain games was awful. Was downright awful. With jet sweeps that our offense couldn't run for all it was worth. It was getting too predictable. Of course, the little, trick plays. Washington is not built, especially this year that passed, we're not built for trick plays. We're not. And they kept on, instead of gaining yardage, they lost yardage. So Scott Turner, gets a fail for that. And like I said, it was getting too predictable. Washington kept on getting themselves in third and long situations and couldn't get anything done. So, and here's the thing, this is something that the offense needs to get better at. Ron Rivera and Scott Turner. They need to get better at calling 2-point plays. Because I think they had 4 or 5 2-point plays this year, and they failed in all of them. They run it in the wild card game when they're trying to tie the game. They run it from 2 yards out. When you know that if running the football wasn't going to get you anything, because you couldn't run on Tampa at all during that game, why in the world would you try to run it there? Or try to, do a swing pass to Logan Thomas when you know that, it wasn't going to work out. Next, Kyle Allen, in my theme. Kyle Allen, that 2-point play for the New York Giants, which, like I said, I don't think that should have happened, but I understood why it had to happen, but at the same time, I didn't like it. Why would you have Kyle Allen hold on to the football when there's no throwing lanes open, yet there's a running lane open, and then just throw it up for grabs? No. So Washington's offensive playmaking, offensive play calling needs to get better. So I'm going to give Scott Turner a D. As harsh as that sounds, he just needs to get better. If Washington's offense is not built this next coming year, 2021, 2022, don't do trick plays. If it's not built that way, do not do trick plays. You're not good enough to do trick plays. Got to get better with 2-point conversions. Got to get better with third down conversions. Don't get too cute. Can't be getting too cute this upcoming season. So, as painful as that is, and you guys may disagree with me. Let me know if you guys disagree with me. I say Scott Turner gets a D. And then finally, actually, no. Sorry. No. Third is going to be, what's this guy's name? I just had him. The defensive coordinator. Jack Del Rio. There we go. Jack Del Rio. Wow. I really can't say enough about this guy. Really. He really improved this defense a lot. Our front seven was outstanding this year. Was second in the league in sacks. Our secondary was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't great. It was okay. The secondary, I think in the secondary we found hidden gems in Ronald Darby and in Cameron Curl. So I think, Jack Del Rio, this defense altogether found a lot of hidden gems. Tim Settle stepped up when Matt Ioannidis, went down. So that front seven was nasty this year, like I said. So Jack Del Rio, I'm impressed with the way that Jack Del Rio handled the defense. However, there were certain things that, needs to be taken care of, like Washington needs to find a linebacking core. And like I said, I'm going to break down position by position. And I think Ron Rivera in this defense, like I said, Jack Del Rio, they need to find themselves a Luke Kuechly. They need to find themselves a Luke Kuechly. They need to find themselves a good line. The linebackers was Washington's downfall, to be honest. The stopping the run that's the only thing that I will give Jack Del Rio, not a good sign is the linebacking core. It was just terrible. It was terrible to see the Buccaneers run all over the defense. So that's something that, Jack Del Rio on this defense needs to get better at. Is stopping the run, maybe not allowing big plays, because also, big plays were an issue sometimes here and there. So Jack Del Rio, I'm going to give him a B minus to a C plus. I'll be generous. I'll give him a B. Because like I said, he, found this defense found hidden gems. Tim Settle stepped up. Cameron Curl, Ronald Darby, those were hidden gems because Ronald Darby was, everyone was saying, he's washed up. Because, he played horrible in Philly. But, he played solid enough for Washington this year. So, I'm going to give Jack Del Rio a B. 80%, what's a B? Lower than 80 to 86%, that's a B. Yeah, I'll give him a solid B. Next up, special teams, Nate Kaczor, gotta go. I'm going to start by saying that. He's gotta leave. The special teams unit was terrible this year. Muffed punts, muffed kickoff returns. Dustin Hopkins missing field goals and extra points. Trust Way was the only bright spot. Also, the coverage kickoff and punt return teams. There were opportunities where the opposing team either fumbled the kickoffs or fumbled the punt returns, and the special teams unit didn't do anything. They couldn't, catch the ball, or they gave up a big play in the kickoff game. The game that comes to mind was the Dallas game when Tony Pollard literally ran. And the good news is that the defense, as I stated, were able to just hold them to a field goal. But imagine if it was, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and I'm going to talk about that squib kick later on. So the special teams, Nate Kaczor played, his play calling was terrible this year. Was terrible. I think that the special teams unit needs to find a new head coach. Need to find a new coach for special teams. And I'm going to give Nate Kaczor a D minus to an F. As bad as I mean. So he gets a D minus to an F. You can argue me on that point. You're going to say, well, it's all Dustin Hopkins' fault. It wasn't his fault. But like I said, the muffed punts, the muffed kickoff returns, the not being able to kick return or punt return. They gotta find a punt returner and a kickoff returner that won't drop the football. So like I said, I'm gonna give Nate Kaczor, I think his name is. Please let me know what his name is in the comments down below. A D minus 2.5. So all around, guys, that is my grade for the coaching. Later videos, next up will be the quarterback play. So look forward to that. This is gonna be an everyday thing, guys. So I'm gonna probably drop 1 or 2 videos per day regarding the season in review, position in review, and stuff like that. So please look for a video with that. It's gonna be 1 or 2 videos a day. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys disagree or agree with my assessment? Let me know. All right, guys. Peace.